Hi y'all. My desire is that you focus more on what I'm sharing rather than the fact that this video may be slightly wobbly because I'm holding the device in my hand. This video is inspired by a post that I saw on Facebook asking for tips to be given to the newbies who have made their entries into the metaphysical world. I am delighted that more people have chosen to depart the religions that do in fact have some truth, but they restrict and limit freedom and authenticity. They want people to conform to methods and practices that don't allow people to forge their own unique signature style journeys. Now, I do have respect for people who decide to remain in religious postures. Even though they're limited, that is their choice. And some folks will die holding on to Jesus, Allah, and the like. That is their business, and I don't have any intention of intruding on their spiritual postures or their spiritual choices because it works for them. Hallelujah. And on occasion, I still do read the Bible because the Bible does have some lovely jewel nuggets of truth in it as well. But I don't have a practice of reading it on a regular basis as I did previously when I was one of those bona fide, on fire Christian people. And I have Christian people in my family, and they ask me questions about what I do. I answer as inclined. I don't share in depth. But again, I don't trespass on what they believe, and I'm not going to tolerate anyone trespassing on what I choose to believe and practice. Now, I realize that some people have jobs and you cannot be open about your metaphysical selections. So there are ways that you can not be in your face with your practices and you can still honor what you have chosen to do, like using jewelry. You can use plants, you can use herbs and spices, you can use like acorns and pine cones and things that don't look obviously metaphysical to help you in your journey. You can use sigils and mudras, which are discreet. You can use mudras if you're standing in line in the grocery store and you need to be relieved of some stress or some arrows that are coming from the toxic environments. So newbies, the main thing I can stress to you is it is great and very helpful to get information and guidance from more experienced people in the craft. However, nothing and no one can ever substitute for your own signature style journeys. You must discover who you are authentically, embrace that, and cling to that. And one thing that I highly recommend that many people choose to neglect is daily meditation. It's in those times that you get downloaded into you, that we get downloaded into us, significant reveals, strategies, coping mechanisms, creative ideas, plans and goals, and more intuitive awareness. So that is foundational and a fundamental of metaphysics. If you want to really evolve, I really suggest and urge you to engage in daily meditation. You can do it even in the shower. And also, I do a lot of meditation outside because communing with nature is really medicinal and comic relief. Laughter is like medicine for the soul. So make sure that you get some comic relief in your life, and no matter how busy you are, take time out to do self-love, because if you don't do self-love, you cannot really authentically love anyone else if you haven't first made sure to practice on a regular basis self-love. Now, as far as books, I would recommend that you get certain books as foundational books like The Complete Idiot's Guide to Astrology, The Complete Idiot's Guide to Tarot, The Complete Idiot's Guide to Alchemy, and also The Complete Idiot's Guide to Numerology. Get involved in doing some research on sacred geometry, because the world we live in is full of sacred geometry and architecture and even the foods we eat. We can't go anywhere without seeing sacred geometry displayed in nature. And do tree hugging. Tree hugging is very helpful and beneficial as well to our souls and our spirits and our bodies. It helps to relieve stress. I recommend that you don't focus on having necessarily material things to help in your journey, because they are an aid, but the metaphysical world is mainly about mind, mentalism, what you can do with your intents and create your realities, it mainly comes from within. The tools, again, are aids and they can be helpful, but don't be stressed out if you can't afford all the tools that you see other people promoting and so forth. You can go outside and get some tools like acorns and pine cones and tree pieces. I don't pull pieces off of trees. I normally get tree pieces off the ground to respect the trees. I get the limbs and so forth and little sticks and things off the ground. You can use water to create your realities. You can use the four elements and commune with them. That's what I do recommend, that you engage with the elements: fire, air, water, and earth, and find out about the planets and their correspondences, and definitely engage in candle magic, using candles and incense and rose water, and putting the Kananga oil into your bath water, and using Florida water. And yes, mainly focus also on being about communing with your ancestors. Some people deal with the deities like Oshun and so forth and so on. I don't engage with those particular deities, and some folks don't deal with deities at all. It's your choice. Find out what works for you. Discover what your channels are to be tuned to, and don't be tripping about what other people are doing beyond what you find that resonates within you. And I would suggest you have altars if you can in where you reside. If not, you can use mobile altars. You can get like small boxes from Michael's craft store and do like mobile altars and carry them around with you. You can put like crystals in there, some herbs, a pendulum, some matches or lighters, and also little cone incenses and whatever else you feel inclined to use, like a small ankh, some jewelry pieces, some sigils, and anything else that comes to your mind. You can use like High John, the Conqueror roots, Jezebel root. You can get some oils and put those in there. They have oils that correspond with the planets and your zodiac signs, and you can just use your imagination about what, talks to you or calls to you as far as what to put into your mobile altars, and use them outside. And when I go outside, when it's mild weather, I use like those little small glass enclosed candles so the wind won't blow out my fire. And I sit out there and light like little small cone incenses and indeed. And you can also, for your home altars, you can put photographs of your transition loved ones and talk to your select ancestors. I don't talk to all of my ancestors and relatives, just select ones, and you'll know which ones you may be inclined to commune with. Some of those you don't want to commune with. And I would recommend that you watch the Shira Star Goddess on YouTube. Some of her older videos aren't lengthy. Some of her more recent ones are, but she is one of the best and excellent people that is involved in metaphysics. She's tempered in her tone, and she's not judgmental, and she doesn't get into being reactive. Her emotions are normally much in control, and she doesn't trip on trolls, and she just handles her business, stays on her grind, keeps her focus. And so I'm very pleased to recommend her, because I had been one of her subscribers for a while, and I love that she doesn't tell people to follow her or to look at her as their leader or any kind of master or guru. She instructs people on a regular basis to discover who they are, to discover what their unique journey is, to discover what their lane is, and to embrace and cling to their own authentic channels, and not to get caught up in worshiping any people or deities. Work with deities, work with people, work with tools, but worship none. Just be within for most of your mojo and most of your power and potency and magic. And also, I would recommend that you get at least one pendulum and at least one oracle card deck and at least one tarot deck. You can go on YouTube and get reviews about some of the tarot decks, and you can in the oracle decks, and you can also see photographs of all the cards to note which ones appeal to you the most. And you can get instructive videos and tutorials about pendulums and how to use them and how to tune in to get the best from what they have to offer. And again, I would also recommend that you dig into researching about the meaning of numbers and color magic and how colors can activate certain things within us. And also learn about doing rituals during certain moon cycles, full moon and new moon. There's certain energies that are present that are best used at those times. And me, my main signature number is 3. So when I do my rituals, I normally do them the day before the full moon, the day of the full and or new moon, and the day after the new and or full moon. So just bear in mind what numbers resonate within you for you to do your rituals, how long you want them to last, and be aware that it's wise and beneficial to feed your rituals. For instance, the first day I do my rituals, they're normally lengthier than these subsequent feeding days, but I may feed them and say things like, I give you more life today, I give you more energy today, I'll summon more of my deities that I work with to energize you more and activate you more and to feed you more power and life today. And I don't work with the deities that many other people work with. I normally stay with the Egyptian forces, such as Mayat, Tahuti, Anpu, Heru, Ray, and so forth. That's what I work with. There's a book you can get that deals with the Egyptian forces. And I also love working with bats. That's the cat representation in the Egyptian forces realm. So find out what you want to work with as far as deities, if any at all, because that's all entirely up to what you discover about what you decide is best for your particular practice and journey. So just be encouraged, and if you can't, come out of the quote-unquote metaphysical closet, learn subtle ways to display and honor without exposing to people. That's how you practice. You can do that on your jobs and in homes where you live with folks who are against metaphysics. You can use, again, like I said, things from outdoors, stones and pieces of trees and so forth. So I congratulate you on your journey, and I want you to be confident. Know that you're beautiful. Know that your signature style is yours alone, that you don't owe anyone any explanations for how your spiritual posture is aligned. Just focus on mainly absolutely loving, absolutely trusting, and absolutely heeding the universal rhythm, and you will be assured that you will get excellent guidance, because we don't always know all the angles, but the source most high always knows the wholeness and the fullness. So we have our ebbs and our flows, but when we adhere to the excellent guidance, we can come through triumphantly in anything and rise above anything and any arrows that are aimed at us if we commit to doing what I have suggested, completely, steadfastly aligning with universal rhythm, dedicating and committing to daily meditation and anything that will assist you in evolving. Thank y'all for listening. Bye now.